Hello, beautiful people. Let me know if you can hear me. Hi. Come on over, say hi. I'm shuffling our angel cards. So as you guys say hi, please let me know if you can hear me. I'm always so nervous that something goes wrong technically because I'm my own, audio visual person by myself in a room, right? Good times, good times. Hey, Suze, what's up, woman? Happy afternoon to you, right? Oh my gosh. I love that we are all over the world, you guys. That makes me so happy. Sorry if these cards are loud. So today I want to talk to you guys about something. It's I Love Sales Month. It's official. As you guys know, if you've been paying attention, the one and only sales mastermind of 2023 will be opening later this month. So keep your eyes open for that. If you are interested in learning the skill of sales, thank you very much. With heart, by the way. I'm so excited. Somebody actually just reached out to me. There's a group of 5 people who consider themselves, sorry, I have an itch, who consider themselves part of this class of ethical sales, teaching ethical sales. I was like, oh my gosh, we're creating our own industry. It makes me so happy. So if you're interested in learning that, please post below. We will get you the information. We'll be opening the doors soon. I'm really excited about that. And so today, what I wanted to talk to you about is the myth of talent, right? So there's like this myth that some people are just naturally talented at things, right? And there are talents. There's no question about that, right? But where do skills start and talents end? Or where do talents start and skills end? I don't you know what I'm saying. There's a crossover there. And it's important that we know that. And it's important that we understand where we fall and which skills we need to learn and which ones will be easier for us to learn and when is it time to learn a new one versus pull back because you're going to burn out. I know it's a lot to cover, right? So I'm super excited. Alex, I love that you love you some coffee with Coach. Makes me so happy. Evelyn, what is up, my woman? You are, can I just say, Evelyn said she said, glad I sent out an email, which by the way, if you're not on our email list, could you please just post below? We'll get you on it so that you can get emails like, hey, I'm about to go live with Coffee with Coach. Yeah. And Evelyn, I sent it earlier than I usually do because there's so many people who jump in like 10 minutes late. They're like, oh my God, I just got the email. So we sent it out a little early today. I'm glad to know that's working, people. First Monday of every month, 10 a.m. Eastern. Just mark your calendars. It's time with Sarah Walton, grabbing the coffee, getting the coaching. Yeah. Chitra, what's up, girl? I haven't seen you in so long. I'm so happy to see you. This is so great. See you. You know what I'm saying. Megan, what's up, girl? Jamie. Oh my gosh. It's like we got the OG crew up in here, right? We got the holy schmuckers. The world just shut down. It's COVID OG crew up in here. You guys are the original Coffee with Coachers. I'm so happy you're here today. Okay, I'm going to shut up. I swear. And I am going to actually pull us an angel card. You ready? All right. So we are talking skill versus talent. And I'm doing that because the Sales Mastermind opens this month and there's talents around selling and then there's skills around selling and there's magic when both come together. Okay. You ready? Oh, flip a dip. I just threw them all over the joint. Okay. This one popped out. I don't like it. I'm picking another one. Well, okay. I won't do that because if it flipped out, but I'm not sure. I think I know actually. I just threw something. Don't be alarmed. All right. Can you guys see this? Let's see. I'm going to look to the side. Can you see what it says? This is why I was like, what? I have to put it in front of my face. Cleanse and detoxify. You know what that is? It took me a hot second. It's because there's so much crap around sales. You see what I did? Crap. Okay. So there's so many just awful toxic beliefs about sales. So we are going to cleanse and detoxify those in February. For those of you paying attention, la, 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 come join the Sales Mastermind. It's the best. All right. So with great love and respect, say the angels to us, all of us Coffee with Coachers. With great love and respect, we ask you to detoxify your precious and sensitive body. Okay, I have to tell you guys something in a second. Okay. At your request, we'll help you to develop life-affirming ways to deal with stress, as well as ease any sorrow at shedding your old ways, as in being afraid to sell. You see? Okay. All right. Give your cares, worries, and concerns to us and feel the beautiful grace of your newly purified body. You guys. Okay. So Jay Shetty, I just have to share this. This was totally not planned. I swear on my life. Remember, I almost put that card back. So this is a jar, as you can see. Hello, jar. Hello. And there's little things in there. This is a Jay Shetty special. And the idea is every week of the year, you put in something wonderful that happened that week, right? Or something that you're excited about. And this was today's, I swear to God, I know because it was pink, because the rest of them are blue and green. And it just said, the week of February 6th, I committed to completely loving and taking care of my body. Swear to God. Is that crazy? Oh my God, the angels are all working. Something's working. Something's working somewhere. I'm so excited. All right. Oh my gosh, so many comments. Hello. I love that you guys are here. I'm so happy. Yay. Okay. Zeus says, Sarah, it almost looks like I rig those cards every time. It's super fitting. I know. I swear to God, I didn't. And Jamie and Shitra must be so excited, right? Our health, amazing health support group, right? Like right here, all of the things that they have to offer for health. And boom, I swear to God, I didn't rig it. But I also do think, I think it also has to do with beliefs. I really do, because I literally almost put it back. But I think that there's so much, you guys, around sales that I think is just, it just kind of, I'm going to say something to sound cheesy. It kind of breaks my heart a little bit. And I don't know how else to say it, because there's so many exquisite businesses out there, so many incredible human beings who have these extraordinary gifts to offer, and they're not offering them. So nobody knows. And I think it has to do with, listen, I get it. I think it has to do with the broness of it all. And I say it's time for women to take back everything. And by the way, that includes business. We are so good at business. I think there's a there's a calm element to women around business. There's a pragmatism, right? I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've sat down and worked with a woman and they're like, okay, well, I can't invest in that yet, but I have a plan. I'm going to be able to invest in that by April. Okay, I can't. And it's like, I'm like, genius, right? It's so beautiful how we're able to pull the emotion, the heart, the depth, the caring, this drive to make a difference and have an impact. And then when we include that with our logical brains and our ability to multitask and look at all of the elements that are at play and make money doing it, it's genius. And then we discount that. And that's, I think, what we need to detoxify is we're like, yeah, but I'm not naturally talented at that. I mean, that's, I hear this a lot about video. People are like, no, Sarah, that's your thing. I can't do it. And I'm like, that's fascinating. Do you think I came out of the womb with a camera in my face? This is really interesting. You think I was like, sorry, see, and I spit on camera too. It's not like I was like, oh my God, I'm here on planet Earth. Someone film. Like, that's what? No, right? Is there a talent for me to speak or be in front of people? Yeah, that is absolutely true. But this, you guys, I don't know what the frick I'm doing. Do you know how long I had to research this stupid camera? Every time I go live with Coffee with Coach, I'm freaking out. It's not going to work. Every time. I'm like, did I do something wrong? Is YouTube not going to let me go live? Does the stupid tree lit up? Like all the things that we all worry about, but you just keep going. And that's what I wanted to talk to you guys about today, right? I think the most important skill you can learn in business is sales. I just absolutely believe that. That's why I have the sales mastermind, because if you don't know how to sell, you don't have a business. And I don't know how else to say that. Like, you've got to start to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. And I hate that phrase because coaches use it. I know, but let's think about that for a hot second. Okay. Here's the deal about humans. We're so weird. And I have the funnest, I almost said funnest. It's not a word, but I'm going to use it anyway. The most fun episode on my podcast coming out later this month. I'm super excited for you guys. You're going to be like, I'm sorry, what now? It's about The Walking Dead. I know, gross, but it is. And about the importance of relaxing into our humanity, right? That balance that we have, right? But also our human need to be challenged. Right? We have this need. How many of you guys have just felt absolutely bored lately? Anyone? You're like, no, Sarah, I'm doing 90 million things, right? But are those things interesting to you still? Are you still being challenged, or have you started to fall into complacency? I'd love to know. You guys can tell me. Yes, take care of your body, Jamie says. And Evelyn says, I love doing video because it's faster, fresher, and more interesting. I know, me too, Evelyn. I love it. It's faster, right? You can only type so fast. I type pretty dang fast, by the way, but not as fast as I talk. So here's the deal between talent and skill, okay? I just said, I don't want you to feel complacent, right? How many of you felt that? You guys, you have to comment because I know you're there. I love you to bits, but I can only do so much by myself. Silence. You guys are going to be shy. Or you're going slow. I know, it's because you can't type fast. If only you could respond via video, you would have responded already, right? Okay, so here's what I'll say. For those of you that have ever felt that feeling of like, oh, this again, it's time to up your skills. I just forgot the author's name. I'm so sorry. Someone's going to know it, but Atomic Habits, right? It actually goes into great detail in that book about our need to be challenged. And if we're not challenged enough, we'll slip more and more into complacency and then everything starts to slide. And I know we've all had that experience. I think it's one of the reasons I recommitted to taking good care of my health, right? With the recent health scare with my daughter, I really got off the rails, like not like I normally do. I just haven't been treating my body the way I normally do. I haven't been as careful or as respectful. So it's time to put that back in. And that's going to be challenging right now, right? Because I slid off the thing. Right. So it's like, okay, we all have those moments where we slide down and we come back up. Okay, we slide down, we come back up. I'm going to ask you to think about that around sales too. Oh, I don't need to sell. I'm fine. I've got a full list. Okay, but the list gets used up. You got to challenge yourself to sell something every day. And that doesn't mean the actual transaction happens every day. It means you're talking about what you offer every single day. Okay. So we want to start to put a little bit of challenge back into your work, back into sales. Or for me at this moment, it's back into my body, back into treating it with the respect and love and care that it deserves. Good God, I can't do anything without my body. Right. So it's like, let's go. Let's take good care. Yeah, I hope that's making sense. By the way, inside the Sales Mastermind, what I've heard the feedback from our awesome participants is their favorite thing is there's a challenge almost every week around sales, which means you are actively engaged in trying something new. And that was where most of the magic happened for people. They were like, oh my God, this challenge this week. I can't believe what just happened. So I wanted to share that with you too. Jamie, you're reading Atomic Habits right now. I love it. And Alex, you feel up and down from week to week. Yeah, I can totally get that. So it's a matter of upping the baseline. I really love that you said that, right? Because there's and different areas of our life are going to kind of go up and down. That's why I love the weekly reviews, right? On Sunday nights, kind of sitting down and taking stock of the different areas of your life. So critical because one, you'll start to feel malaise, right? Like for me, my body, it was like, oh, I'm not taking such good care, but business is amazing. Right? The way I'm showing up as a mom is amazing. The way I'm treating my body, not so much. Right. So we want to start to look at like, oh, okay, well, time to pull this one up. Let's get a little challenge going there. Let's get a little skill building going there. Right. So you want to sort of up the baseline. I hope that makes sense, Alex. Let me know. Megan says, absolutely. You're excited to level up your skills. Awesome. Evelyn says, I love a balance between being challenged and being overwhelmed. You said it's a finalize, but I don't know what. I think you meant it's a fine dance, but I'm not sure. Oh, it's a fine line. Okay, at least we were close. Jamie says, you're good when you give yourself a challenge. Yeah, that's usually the best part. So here's the rub, you guys, is we also have to feel competent. I mean, how rude is that, right? Sorry, I'm going to tissue myself. So, or I'm going to keep coming. Thank you, Winter. So there's a balance, right? So now we need to feel challenged. We know that that has to be there, but we also have to cause wins. We have to feel competent. And that is where our talents are, right? So there's some things we're naturally good at and it feels good to do them. Me, organizing, cleaning my house. Try and stop me. A double dog dare you. Can't do it, right? Like the best. So how can I take that talent? It's so natural for me to do it. I love it. So much time disappears, right? It's one of those things I just, when I get a weekend by myself, I die. I'm so happy, right? Just clean, organize, clean, organize, clean. It's the best, right? Love it so much. How do I do that inside of business? How can I take that talent that's natural, right? And now challenge myself with it inside of business. Well, anyone who works on my team, raise your hand, you poor people. I'm so sorry. Ask them how organized I am. Go ahead, ask them. They'll be like, it's like I have not pulled that talent into the business as much as I could. Now, am I totally sloppy and everything's up in the air? No, but could it be more amazing? You bet. Right. So what I'm doing there is creating a gap for myself. And anytime you create a gap, that's when you start to get excited because that's where your challenge is, right? So if I set a goal for myself to say, okay, we're going to start to get organized around the podcast and we're going to start to use the podcast in a different way. We're going to organize this so that when I'm a guest on a podcast, we're going to couple that with one of our podcasts, right? Do you see what I'm saying? We could get so much more organized about that. And all of a sudden I'm excited and super engaged. And that's not normally where I use that talent. Is this making sense? Well, I use it, but not to the extent that I would in my house. It's making sense. You guys, I want you to think about right now, you got to pull out your journal. It's coffee with coach. It's not coffee with, well, I don't know. I sit back and just listen to Sarah talk. All right. So go ahead and grab a journal right now. And I want you to write out 4 talents, 4, okay, that you think you have naturally. So for me, speaking, organizing, reading people, I can read people really quickly and know what's like, is something going on with you, right? They're like, how do you do that? I don't know. It's a talent, right? I didn't hone that. That's a talent. Well, I have honed it more, but it's a talent, right? And then the last one is probably, I don't even know, maybe being funny. Sometimes. That's funny. I said that. I'm like, I'm not that funny. Okay, but so maybe those are 4 talents. So go ahead and write down 4 of your own talents. If you'd like to share them in the chat, you can do that too. But go ahead right now, write down 4 talents. Megan says I'm not as bad as I think. Thank you, Megan. And Zeus says, I wish I could be so good with my weekly business planning as I am with planning the food. Exactly. Zeus, that's a great challenge to give yourself. If you can, and we're going to atomic habit it, right? So if you have the one habit of planning the food, I do that too. Love Sundays, right? Food prep, the whole deal, right? So if you're great at planning the food, as soon as you're done planning the food, go plan your business week. So you're tacking them on and your mind's already in that space. Do you see? It's so cool because you're already in the like, oh, what's happening Tuesday? Okay, well, we're having tomato soup and focaccia bread. That's one of my favorites to make. I love that. It's like a deconstructed pizza. So fun. Anyway, whatever. I digress. So I just planned the meal for Tuesday. This is what's happening in the business on Tuesday. So you could do it that way back and forth, or I just planned the week for food. Now I'm going to plan the week for biz and couple that on. And then what you're doing is you're actually growing your skill set and creating a challenge for yourself, which is going to keep you engaged in the business because you're using something you love to do. You're happy, you're excited, but you're getting challenged, which you also need in order to grow. Love it. You meant you're terrible with food, good with bit. Fine. Other way. It's all good, sister. All right. So let's see. So Jamie says, helping others, never giving up, communication, and dancing. Jamie, can we go dancing one time? We've never done that. We need to do that. You guys know we're in the middle of a redesign for the website, and I found a picture of me at 3 in my ballet costume. I died. So did the designer. She's like, I can't even believe I just looked at that picture. It's the cutest thing ever. And my mom, total sequitur, like not even a sequitur, total tangent. That's the word. My mom made me a tiara out of a cardboard box and glitter. Looks pretty good. Wait till you see the picture. Anyway, we need to dance. All right. And Evelyn says, I'm always trying to come up with systems and habits to streamline my business. Talents are organizing, speaking. You're concise. I totally agree with that, Evelyn. And you love connecting with people. Oh, that's so good. So yeah, it's so funny. You guys know Evelyn, like, organizes toy rooms. It's the cool. I really wish I knew when my kids were little. But like this whole thing, like she does it for everybody else there. And she's like, oh, but I'm always looking at ways to organize and streamline the business too. So here's the thing. I have a little caveat. When we are doing something new and hard, we revert back to feeling competent, right? I'm trying to get you to push your competency into new skills. But I want you to know there's another side to this. It's like the dark side of the moon, okay? And it's tricky. And I have a feeling we're about to have some light bulb moments, okay? But what happens is you go to learn a new skill, you get all excited and lit up, and then it gets really hard. And so all of a sudden, you're redoing your homepage again because you're really good at that. Or all of a sudden, you're organizing your kitchen drawer because you're really good at that. That is not from personal experience. Right. Okay. So you do stuff like that, right? And then there is this need or desire to feel so competent that you stop learning the new skill. Okay. When that happens, that simply means the challenge was too great. Okay. Oh, I'm so sorry. My nose is running. I blew it out the bed of the lady. So, but it's like all of a sudden you run away from it and you're doing what feels good to you again. A case in point for me, when my stress level got super high, right, in January with what was going on over here, all of my ability to take good care of myself kind of flew out the window. I kept running, which was great. I'm really happy I did that, but the rest of it kind of fell out because the challenge was too great, right? It was so intense and so strong. It was too great. So other things that I'm normally competent at flew right out the window and I slid back into what's really easy for me to eat chips. I don't have to think about that. Right. And you guys know I say all the time, what is my biggest weakness? Jalapeno chips. it's a problem. They like call to me in the grocery store. I have to run to the other aisle. It's amazing. I don't know how they know I'm there, but they know. Anyway, so I slip back into that because that I can do that. Right? That's something I can do. That's something I can control. So you want to watch where you're challenging yourself. So as you're picking challenges, I didn't pick this challenge. It was handed, right? And that's going to happen in life too, but it's so great to be able to go back and look at it and go, "Oh, I see what happened. The challenge was so great. I reverted to what feels comfortable." Okay? So you want to look at that too as you're choosing skills now. You're going to look at them and go, "Oh, that one might be a tad bit too big. I'm going to chunk it down just one more." So that you're in that sweet spot of being challenged, but feeling competent. And I love that. I was in my running class because, I was thinking about you guys this weekend. I always love the weekend before coffee with coach. I'm always like, ooh, whatever you can talk about. I get so excited. And as you guys know, I love these running classes, these local running classes I get to take on a treadmill. And there's like, you have your pace. You start at your pace, which is usually pretty, so it's like a little jog. You can talk while you're at your own pace. That's fine. And then they have you move into a suite. And I was like, oh my God, it's our sweet spot. Why am I so dumb? I've never thought of this before. I was like, Sarah Walton, it's right there in your running class. It's the sweet spot. And they're like, run your sweet. And they literally call it that. And it's SWEET. And they're like, can you make it sweeter? Meaning make it just like a little bit harder, right? So there you are in your suite, which means you're challenged. You can no longer have a conversation, but you can hang on. You start to feel really competent because you can hang on for 3-4 minutes at that pace, but it's hard. And I'm like, oh my God, it's the sweet spot. And so I want to take that same metaphor and put that in your business. Where do you feel competent, but it's a little hard? You're a little breathy. It's a little bit like, whoo, there's some work going on up in here, but you feel good about it because you're using your talents. I hope this is making sense. Let me know if this is clicking for you guys. I'm seeing some comments come in. So, Jamie says, yes, please, let's go dancing. And Alex is coming too. Good. We'll let you guys know. Maybe we'll go live. No, I'm not. Well, me, I don't know. Let's see. Jamie says, I'm taking you out when I get back to the States. You're on, Jamie. Let's go. And Adriana, what's up, girl? So good to see you. You're so good at redoing your website. Yeah, I know. Wink. I have notes for you today. Okay. And then we have Evelyn who says, I find it tough to keep going when learning a new skill. It doesn't bring the results I want. Yes, that is the challenge, right? Of being able to trust yourself. Evelyn, you just said something really important, right? So it could be that the challenge is too big, or it could mean you need to give yourself some more compassion and a little bit more competency put in, right? So I'm going to use the running analogy again. I hope you guys are following me on this one. So, right, if you hit a number in your suite, let's say you're running, right, and you hit a number in your suite and you're like, oh, this is a little bit too much, you can pull it back a tad. And that allows you to keep going. You don't stop. You keep going. You just might go a little bit slower, right? So I'm hearing compassion and patience over here for you, upping the competency. So putting more rewards in there for you, meaning more things are coming in that you're really good at. Right. So maybe it is like, oh, I'm getting challenged. I'm getting stuck here. I'm going to go communicate via email because you're such a good communicator, right? Or I'm going to post a video about how much fun I had on my last job. Do you see what I'm saying? So you're going to put that competency in and then you're going to get back to the skill. And by doing that, you're just slowly pulling back just a tad, right? But you're still going. And that's what matters. So I hope that's helpful. Jamie says she wants to create good habits, and it's not always easy, but once you find a rhythm, you stay on it. That's really good, Jamie. And that's what's really important is that we recognize that, right? That it's possible to add a new skill and now that becomes a habit and then you're going to get bored. We don't want that. So how can you up it and challenge yourself again? It's a human drive. Like you guys, if we're not challenged, we start to get depressed, right? It's the sweet spot, right? Because if you're over challenged, like my last year, right? That was an over challenge, right? Things will start to slip a little bit. So you have to kind of figure out, okay, whoa, let's pull this back. Okay, all right. But then there's the other side is if you're not challenged enough, you give up. And that sucks, she said elegantly. Like that is not fun. We do not want you giving up on stuff. So there's really this sweet spot. All right. So now that you've got your 4 talents, all right, you got your 4 talents. I want you to write 4 skills that you can learn in the next month using those talents, building on, right? So if you love to speak, start doing video. If you're really great at organizing, pull that into areas of your life where you're not as organized, right? So Zeus, I love what you said. Even though we got it backwards, doesn't matter, right? You can flip it either way. If you're great at planning food, get great at planning biz. If you're great at planning biz, get great at planning food. It's the same skill, but you want to start to hone your talent so that you can use the skills whenever you need them in any area of life when it's demanded. Um, so go ahead and write that down. Write down 4 skills you'd like to learn this month. Megan says, yes, my knee jerk reaction in the sweet spot is to go all in and neglect self care rather than knowing when it's time to take a break. Yes. And you get impatient with yourself. How many of you guys, I get impatient too. I get so annoyed if like I don't knock it out of the park the first time. Yeah. Anyone else? You guys, those of us who love to redo websites over and over, right? There's that in there too. Like, oh, I didn't knock it out of the park. It must be the website. It's like, maybe. Or there are other skills we need to work on, like patience, courage, right? To continue to go when it's like, oh, this isn't quite right. What do I need to tweak? I got to keep going. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep going, right? Like there's courage in there, patience, maybe grit. I love grit. If you guys haven't read, I talk about this book every once in a while, not that often, but it's oh, dag nabbit, it just flew right out of my head. But grit is one of the skills they talk about. It's by Paul Tough. It's funny. I remember the author. Tough is how you spell his name, Paul Tough. And it's something about the skills of kids. It's so funny. I'm so sorry. I will find it and put it in the notes for today. I'm so sorry. I'm having a brain fart. I can see the cover too. It's like colored pencils. Anyway, but it's about the seven habits or skills that really help kids grow up to be resilient. And I really wish, and the title is kids, and I wish it had been people, because it's the skills that make really successful people. And grit is one of them. And it's the ability to keep going after you fall. And it is tough. It is tough. Grit is so important. And I always thought of it as like a hustle skill, and I don't think it is. I actually don't think it is. I think it's much more analytical than that, and much more thoughtful and much more gentle than the hustle. Because when you really have grit, you have this ability to stand up and go, okay, what just happened? Let me try that again. Oh, I see what happened. And then you go, okay, let me try that again. And the whole time, if you're working well with grit, you're pouring love on yourself the whole time. That's a skill. And that's what I love about that book by Paul Tough, whose title I can't remember right now, right? Is that there's so much compassion poured onto that every single time, but you're also understanding it's a skill. This is something you can learn. Okay. Phil Knight says grow or die. Yes, I think that's true. I wouldn't quite say it that way. I would say you either flourish or wither, I think, or it's a little bit more gentle. Grow or die. But it is, I mean, it really is that way. We don't do well when we're not growing. That it really is where depression comes from for us. It's like we're depressed. We're not expanding. And when we expand, we feel amazing. And that's where you want to live, is in this state of constant growth, and not in a hustle way, in a contemplative, compassionate, loving way that you're continuing to expand. Okay, we got 2 minutes. I'm so sorry I talk so much. I know. Jamie, you're hard on yourself too. Yeah, you have to sing in your head when you need to find your grit. I love that. Some of you, it was the New Year's Day workshop 2 years ago. I gave you guys a song when you're learning a new skill and it's tough. If I want what I want, gotta do what I gotta do. Okay, that was the song, by the way. So Ilea says, did you ever watch Adventure Time? When I'm hard on myself, I think of Jake's quote, sucking at something is the first step to being sort of good at something. That is gorgeous. I love that, Ilea. And that's actually, I actually consider that the skill of confidence as well. Is like, of course, I'm not good at this. I just did it the first time. And so many of us don't have that, right? How many of you guys, like, you watch someone out there on the interwebs and you're like, they're a genius, me too. And then you try it, you're like, I suck at this. They did too initially, right? I mean, I love this. When people have the courage, like, you can go back and watch my first videos too. They suck. You might be like, Sarah, they still do. Maybe, right? But there's so many things that have gotten better over time only because you keep doing it. How else are you going to become an expert at anything unless you just keep doing it? I don't know. Don't look at me, because there's no other way to do it, right? So the skill of confidence comes from doing something over and over, and especially if you're starting at it and not being great yet. And people who are confident understand that. They're like, of course, that wasn't the best result. How could it be? It was the first time. Of course, that wasn't the best result. How could it be? That was the second time. Of course, it wasn't the best result. How could it be? That was the third time. Of course, that wasn't the best result I could produce. I've only been doing it for a year. Do you see? That's actual confidence. And you guys know my other definition of confidence is trusting yourself to figure it out. That was interesting. I don't know what just happened. Trusting yourself to figure it out. Yeah, that's actually another definition of confidence that I love to give you guys. But these are all skills. And so as you're looking at February, I do want you to pick these 4 skills to expand. If you want to share them with us, awesome. But I want you to look at where you can expand. Where can you challenge yourself so you stay engaged, but it's not so challenging you want to give up? And remember, the sweet spot to staying engaged is allowing yourself to feel competent. That means you're using things you're naturally good at. You're bringing your talents into these new skills and understanding where the talent sort of stops, right? It supports, but might stop where the skill begins, and vice versa. And learning how to sort of bridge the gap between the two so you feel really competent, but you're also remaining challenged. Yeah. All right. So Megan said, this is so validating. I love watching my old videos and cringing, and it makes me realize how much I've grown up and looking up the mountain. That's right. I love that, Megan. Yeah. And it is true. We've got to look back and go, holy crap, I have been doing this for a while and I am really good at it now. Or I'm better at it. And you know what I don't like? I want to tweak this part and I want to stretch that part and I want to grow this part. That you're allowed to do that too. That's actually grit, right? You're continuing to look at how it can get better and that's exciting. I know sometimes I've said that to people. They're like, oh, that makes me feel tired. And I'm like, that's because there's not enough talent involved. There's not enough competency involved. There's not enough of a reward involved. Because when you're feeling competent and excited, you can't wait to learn more, right? You get so excited about the next step. And that's where you want to stay. And that takes discipline, right? On our end to be like, oh, I'm not using enough of me right now. That's why I feel like crap. Or I'm not challenged enough right now. That's why I don't feel so great. Yeah. So detoxify and cleanse your negative thoughts around growth. This does not mean you have to hustle. I don't want any hustlers out there. That's gross. I don't even know how that happened. I mean, I kind of do. We know it was invented by other humans that are not women. Okay. So Zeus says, cooking better food. Okay. So these are the skills. Yeah. So cooking better food, putting my care for my clients into my post emails. I love that. I love that. Feel energetic during my day. Also, also when you're not coaching your clients, you feel energetic and good. That's great. Evelyn says, I love figuring out how to do things better so I can do them faster and have more time to sit and read. Yes. I have a hair in my eye. Yes. I can see it and I can't get it. All right. So with that, beautiful, beautiful people, please challenge yourselves all through February. Those of you that are interested in the sales mastermind, the emails will start going out on Valentine's Day. I know. So cute. I heart sales. Yeah. So we're going to be putting those out. Have some fun with those. Feel free to ask questions. If you have any questions about the 6-month mastermind program, I'm all yours. I will be your coach. It is completely interactive, completely engaged with yours truly. All 6 months while you learn the skill of sales. I know, talk about fun and challenging. Yeah. All right, you guys, listen, get out there, have some amazing skill goals this month. And don't forget to use your talents while you do it. I love you guys to bits. Happy February. Bye.